Next information reaching us is that the Court of Appeal has just acquitted and discharged the minority leader, Dr. Forson.
Right. So Dr. Forson has been discharged and acquitted and discharged by the Court of Appeal after the High Court on many occasions and many attempts by the defense counsels attempted to file for no case, but then failed. So right after the ruling from the High Court, they took to the Court of Appeal to appeal the ruling by the High Court. And so the Court of Appeal upheld their application, came up with a ruling, acquitted and discharged Dr. Forson of no wrongdoing at all in the ambulance procurement trial, currently ongoing or had been ongoing for some 2 years in the High Court. And so, people are jubilating, but this is what personally I think about it. But before then, let's listen to some media personalities, what they have got, their insight into the rulings. I'll be back. This is JFS Media.
So what we're learning is that, there was a case before the Court of Appeal trying to find out about the viability of this case, whether there was a case or no case. Now, from what information we are gathering, by a 3-2 decision, there's been a submission of no case on this. I just had an interaction with the spokesperson for the Attorney General's Department who says he has not seen the full ruling of the court and so doesn't want to get into the details of it, but he can confirm that there has been such a ruling by the Court of Appeal. The question is, what does this mean for the High Court process that was going on before Justice Ifya Sewa? Let's also hear from Latif Idris. He reports from court for us. He joins the conversation. Latif, good morning. What more can you tell us about this latest ruling, so to speak, of the Court of Appeal? What does it mean for the trial of Dr. Forson and the other accused before the High Court?
Well, so thanks. This is a shattering news, particularly for the prosecution, and I'm referring to the Attorney General's Department, because the Attorney General's Department and prosecution, for that matter, had a window open to secure this 2.37 million euros that Richard Japa and Dr. Forson were said to have caused as a loss to the Republic of Ghana. They refused that offer and went on to prosecute Richard Japa and Dr. Forson in court on criminal grounds for causing financial loss to the state. Now, with this Court of Appeals ruling, it means Ghana has lost that chance of securing that 2.37 million euros, and Richard Japa and Dr. Forson are going to walk as free men on the streets of Accra from today.
At least that is what we can all attest to per the rulings of the court. Yeah, so the court has ruled, so it's going to be upheld. But there's a twist to it. If you're going to think the way I am thinking, I think there's a twist to this case. Look, the NDC and the public have always held that the court are packed with NPP fanatics. For that reason, any case at all whatsoever that is taken to the court has been decided on by unanimous decision. And so the court is named Unanimous FC based on this. Now, the NDC won public sympathy in this particular case because of that. The unanimous decisions by the apex court right to the bottom of the court system in Ghana. So NDC and Honorable Forson won the public sympathy on this. Based on that, they decided to telecast or televise the ruling or the case on television. Now, that has happened. Everyone was keenly watching this case to know what is going to happen. From nowhere, a case which is currently being trialed in the High Court was appealed in the appeal court, and the appeal court squashed whatever is ongoing in the High Court, made a ruling or determination in the case, and pronounced the accused person of no wrongdoing by 2-1 decision. Listen to this very carefully. This is a charade. It is a charade. The NDC and the public should not jubilate and relent because of this victory. Behind this victory is going to be a blow. There's going to be a blow that will hit and nobody can withstand it. And this is what I mean by that. The court has held, and you can hear in the public space that, oh yeah, now that you have won the case, now the court is good, the court is good. Now you have instilled justice, you have instilled hope in the court system through your own mouth, to the public. Now, the Attorney General is saying this. Listen to what the Attorney General said.
Now, in a statement issued by the Attorney General shortly after the ruling, Godfrey Dame indicated that his office, quote, considers the decision of the Court of Appeals to be perverse in the quest for public accountability and the rule of law. The decision clearly is heavily against the weight of the cogent evidence led by the prosecution in substantiation of all the charges against the accused persons at the trial.
Another statement he issued, he stated, or his office promptly filed an appeal in order to erase the effect of this erroneous decision of the Court of Appeal. Now he is going to take this issue to the apex court, the Supreme Court, to challenge the ruling of the appeal court. And once he gets to Supreme Court, remember, NDC and you, the public, you have witnessed it, and from your own mouth have praised the court for ruling for you and against him, the Attorney General. Now he's going to go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is going to overturn that ruling by the appeal court, and Arthur Forson is going to go to jail. At this point, you have changed yourself. The NDC, I mean. You cannot say anything because one ruling went in your favor and you praise the court. Now it's going to go against you. You cannot lambast the same court by saying, oh, it's for NPP, it's for NPP. It's the same NPP, it's the same judges, but they ruled for you. And this time, they're going to rule against you. And Arthur Forson is going to go to jail. Mark it on the wall. Today's date is the 2nd of August. I am telling you this. This is GH1st Media. Arthur Forson is going to go to jail and nobody can do anything about it. Unless he's given a presidential pardon. Other than that, they are bent on sending him to jail. Listen to Edwige Tamaklo, who was the defense counsel for Arthur Forson, also the director of the legal section of the NDC.
Edwige Tamaklo, a very good morning to you. You are the director of the legal section of the NDC. Good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning, and good morning to your viewers.
It's good to have you join the conversation. This morning, there's been some anxiety, some lack of clarity on this matter. We want to hear from you. We hear the Court of Appeal has ruled 3-2 in favor of a submission of no case on the Dr. Arthur Forson matter before it. Is that the reality, and what does that ruling mean for the High Court?
Okay, so what happened is that, as you are aware, when the prosecution called as many as, I think, 5 witnesses.
Indeed.
After they called, we did what, and they said they closed their case, we did what is called a submission of no case. Now, this submission of no case that we did, the judge ruled that a case has been made. And so, therefore, we should open our defense. Now, immediately the judge made the order that we should open our defense. We immediately appealed it. It is that appeal against the ruling on the submission of no case that was determined today. And in the wisdom of the majority, the decision by the trial court to ask us to open our defense was wrongful.
In other words,
that's what it is.
In other words, this means that the entire process that has taken place in the High Court, including yesterday's, cross-examination of the CES and the third accused and all of that, it means all of that
aborted. Yes, sir.
I see. What then happens to the High Court, Justice Ifiasewa? What will be the next moves we can expect of her in the coming hours then?
I have no idea.
Once the Court of Appeal delivers...
The orders of the Court of Appeal is what stands.
Yes, but I'm asking, once the Court of Appeal has ruled in this manner, what will follow from the High Court?
That ends it. Bound to comply.
Bound to comply, that was Edoji Tamaklo, the Director of Legal Affairs of the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, and also the lead counsel for the defendant, or the first accused, Dr. Kaisel Ato Forson. That was him, you heard him. But what I am saying is this: you should not relent. Be on your toes. I know you guys know better than I do, but from where I sit, that is why there is something called common law. Common sense is what is applied over there. These guys are not going to relent. They are going to go straight to the Supreme Court. And once they get to the Supreme Court, believe me, the unanimous or the United FC or the unanimous FC is right there waiting. They're going to squash whatever decision the appeal court has made, and Ato Forson is a jail candidate. This is my opinion, and this is Judge First Media, where we say it just as it is, without fear and favor. And thanks for being with us.